For centuries, sports have tested the limits of human ability, but on rare occasions, athletes will manage to perform something unbelievable. Even rare, those moments are caught on camera. That's why we are breaking down 20 impossible moments in sports history. Number 20. Billiards trick shot. Here, a woman from China manages to pull off a stunt that would seem virtually impossible. While her opponents stand by, she manages to sink every single ball in the pocket. Her opponents are so shocked by the feat, it practically takes their breath away. The practice hours to pull something like this off is nothing short of a miracle. Number 19. Front flip. NFL players are getting stronger, faster, and smarter with every passing season. Sometimes that means pulling an unexpected trick to outmaneuver an opponent. In this video, a running back manages to front flip over a defender before landing in the end zone. The move was risky, but the player manages to make it look oh so easy. Number 18. Handball. During the amateur handball game, a free kick was given to the team in yellow jerseys. As the player kicked, the entire team thought for sure that he had scored. Moments later, they realized that the ball was actually lodged into the goalpost and couldn't possibly count. This was an unbelievable shot. Number 17. Volleyball bump. During a high school volleyball game, an intense volley kicked off, which would eventually end with the ball flying out of control. Luckily, it accidentally hits one player on the head, bounces over, and wins that team their point. It was a pretty impossible moment, certainly one that couldn't be repeated twice. Number 16. Baseball catch. A Tampa Bay Rays pro baseball player was in the middle of an interview during practice sessions when a foul ball came flying towards him and the reporter. It's as if the player had eyes in the back of his head. Just before the ball hits the reporter, he manages to snag it and save her from life-threatening injuries. Number 15. Football match. During a Sweden-England football match, one famed player managed to perform a bicycle kick an entire 15 yards away from the net. The kick was so impressive the entire crowd was left gasping. Even his opponents had to pay the player some respect for such a goal. Number 14. Formula 1 race. During a Formula 1 race, the impossible happened. On a curve in the race course, one of the tailing cars bumped the racer just ahead. It caused the entire car to lift up and literally jump over the car ahead. As if out of some Mario Kart game, fans were in absolute shock. The racer didn't manage to win, but this would certainly go down as a career highlight. Number 13. Basketball. During a high school basketball game, one player manages to pull off a goal that no one saw coming. The ball goes flying across the court and is about to fly out when one player manages to snag it just at the edge of the court. At this point, the net is literally behind him, but still, without looking, he's able to throw the ball back and land it in the net. The crowd goes absolutely wild. There is no doubt this game will be memorable for that young player. Number 12. Corner kick. In the soccer world, a corner kick goal is one of those rare dream scenarios that pretty much never happens. But in one pro game, it did happen. A player managed to curve the ball so it sailed right over the goalie and went right into the goal. It was so shocking the entire stadium were up on their feet. Number 11. Basketball shot. In an unbelievable buzzer beater, one Portland Trailblazer player managed to sink a basket in the final moments of the game. There was less than a second left on the clock, and the player was nowhere near the basket. Still, he managed to sink it just in time, which put his team's total points over the opponents. The fans went wild, and the Trailblazers won the series. Number 12. Soccer punch. A Syrian soccer goalie punched the ball so hard that it flew beyond the halfway mark of the field. It was so impressive, the announcers went wild. Not only that, it was a pretty huge advantage for his team. There's no doubt they'll be keeping him around for some time. Number 11. Baseball catch. There's literally thousands of impressive baseball catches caught on camera, but this one might just take the prize. During a pro baseball game, what looks like an easy home run turns into one of the most impressive outfield performances you'll ever see. He literally leaps up into the stands practically and spins around to catch the ball behind him. This unbelievable catch definitely deserves to be called impossible. Number 10. Tennis. During one major tennis match, a player was literally at his rope's end. There wasn't much he could do to stop his opponent, and it seemed that all was lost. Point after point, he was chasing the ball up and down the court, trying to gain control. But just when all seems lost, he pulls out the most delightful trick shot. He fakes out his opponent and just lightly taps the ball over the net. His opponent goes dashing forward, but doesn't reach it in time. Number 9. Hockey. In the midst of a heated hockey match, a player manages to get a no-look back shot just as he's passing. He flies forward and ends up falling on the ice. Still, he knows what just happened from the roaring crowd. The goalie looks around in disbelief. This is one of those magical hockey moments that has to go down on the impossible list. Number 8. Volleyball. In an intense volleyball match, the ball goes flying and two team members coordinate to get it back into play. The player in red bumps the ball, but then another player in blue goes and kicks the ball to send it flying back over the net. The move is insanely athletic to say the least, not to mention how lucky the timing it all was. Number 7. Dax Prescott. Dax Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys manages to pull off the most impressive touchdown. First off, you have to give some credit to that offensive line for making the hole, but as Dax runs through, he encounters two defensive players in the end zone. He manages to flip over the two players, and he makes the move look so effortless and easy. Even his opponents are looking around confused like, what just happened? Number 6. Tennis. You might recognize this player from earlier in the list. This time he's facing off against another opponent, but still manages to pull off some seemingly effortless tennis. The player hits the ball between his legs without even looking. The move is so subtle you almost have to look twice to see it. Still, the ball had so much power, it definitely took his opponent off guard and allowed him to go on and win the point. Number 5. Skateboarding. Everyone knows that Tony Hawk took skateboarding to all new heights when he was in his prime. One such move that almost everyone thought was impossible is the 900. To this day, there are only 4 people to have landed this trick in a professional setting. When you see it, it looks absolutely absurd. It requires 900 degrees around and takes an insane amount of air in order to pull it off. Number 4. Bunker shot. One of the most famous moments in golf history is when Tiger Woods made this insane bunker shot. In total, it was 200 yards. He even managed to put some spin on the ball so it starts curving when it lands. The crowd was shocked to see the ball go right into the hole. Number 3. Bowling. In the world of bowling, Chris Barnes is synonymous with unbelievable shots. Still, this one in particular took bowling fans' breath away. In this clip, he manages to take out a spare, but then sends one pin flying, which knocks down a pin in an entirely separate lane. The move was quite impressive and just goes to show the control and power he has over the ball. The shot has since been called the Flying Eagle by Barnes and fans alike. Number 2. Baseball. This one goes out to the sports fans. During a Major League Baseball game, a batter lost control of the bat and sent it flying into the crowd. Still, one of the fans used his quick reflexes to catch the ball. If he hadn't caught the bat, it would have definitely caused some serious injury to someone else around him. There is no doubt this guy would be going home with more than a game souvenir. Number 1. Table tennis. Now, for those who aren't in the know about table tennis, just understand that this is a game that is unbelievably competitive in other parts of the world. Some of the rallies at professional matches are comically intense. That being said, you can't help but admire the speed and agility of the best of the best. In this match, the ball goes off the table, but the player manages to hit it back onto the table. Even more shocking, the ball drops dead and just rolls across his opponent's side. There's no stopping it. Even his opponent can't help but smile and admire the shot. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. This has been 20 Impossible Moments in Sports History. Have a good one.